Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Business of Influence podcast brought to you by Style ID Africa. It's season 3, and we bring it to you live and direct. This is the place for the news, the views, the reviews, and the interviews, and everything to do with the world of influencer marketing. So, in today's episode, we're chatting to you about how to stay relevant in 2025. The goalposts of content creation are always moving. To stay relevant and engaged is the big currency. How do you make sure that you don't lose yourself in the mix? And also, how do you make sure that you are looking good for all those brands to come to you? And also, we chat about some of the pitfalls about being relevant and always trending. This and more coming up in today's episode. And I'm not doing it alone today. I've got favorite content creators. Let's meet them.
Hello, I am Mackie TV. I am a tech content creator, and that's basically everything about my life. Yes, I like long walks on the beach, even though Joburg does not have a beach. Yes, yeah, that's about it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Yolanda Munyai. I am a content creator, model, MC, and also a podcaster. So I am here to share my views and thoughts on things that you guys probably want to know. And I can't wait to have that conversation with you. Yes, I was on Big Brother season 4. And what you gonna do about it? Nothing.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, sports fans. Yes, in studio with two of your favorite content creators. We have Yolanda and Mack. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I say base. Timelines do you justice. Okay, guys, so Yolanda, I will start with you. I mean, you've moved from being on Big Brother, which is a big platform, and now, you're content creating. If you're an entrepreneur, you've got so many other focuses that you're doing now. How did you find the move for being 8 weeks in Big Brother and then being outside and having to interact in the creative economy?
Yo, it was a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't, because remember when I went in the house, I was not a content creator. I didn't understand anything about social media. I didn't even know how to end a live. When I came out, I went live and I'm like, oh my gosh, where's my press? Exactly. So it was a nightmare, but I actually sat down with myself. I was like, what can I do that I can do even if no one was paying me? It's something that I'll be really comfortable doing and I wouldn't really have, and that was podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, since I talk too much, I'm always here. Let's just do something that we're not gonna be challenged and whatever cases. Yeah. So I think that actually helped me because it made me kind of like have a position in the industry, I think.
Yeah.
Because now everybody see me every day with the podcast and the content as well and other things that I'm doing. So the podcast is really making me,
I love that because it means that you found a way to get some sort of real estate outside of the Big Brother platform, bought some other real estate where you know that, okay, the podcasting is where I'm at. And I can then get my content creation, my brand work will come from people seeing me every day, me growing a community because I've got the stake. Which for me is very interesting because in the tech space, Mac, you guys are sort of, behind your devices, behind your gadgets, are very solitary players, right? How do you sort of grow a community when you are sort of a soloist? Because most of the tech space is people doing content on their own.
It's more so because the tech is used by everyone. So we are a solo community, but the tech is used by everyone. If I speak about iPhones, most of the people are going to have iPhones. If I have Android, there's Android people that have Androids. So it's easy to relate to because everyone uses the thing. If I speak about a TV that's QLED or whatever, most people have TVs in the other things. So it's very easy to relate to because it's things that people can get a hold of. Yeah. It's things that people that can't get a hold of as well. Because like the glasses, for example, they're interested because I've never seen this. It's a rare concept. I've seen it maybe on, someone said Mission Impossible. When they saw it in the comments, they're like, yo, this is spy movies, these ones. And then I'm like, okay, we speak about things that are relatable at the same time, and then it's the ones that are not relatable that they're interested in, but they're interested in both because they want to see what you think about the thing that they have and the things that they don't have. What do you think about that?
And I like that because you creating your community by having people engage with sort of the content that we all have. I mean, you have a phone, I have a phone, and I want to know what my phone can do. I want to know what your phone could do. So I like Yolanda has sort of an everyday interface with people. You interface with them because of the everyday device
That they use.
in us. I like that. I like that. So let's chat about it, guys. So we've got bugbears, we've got issues and problems in this industry, and we're trying to get a benchmark for it. But in as short as possible, how does it feel to be a content creator in 2025? Especially because, as you say, every day there's a new trend, there's a new niche, there's a new get ready with me, there's a new unboxing, there's a new trend, there's a new. As a content creator, how are you feeling in your corner of the world, Yolanda, about sort of the world of content creation, especially in South Africa?
Whoa! I hope and wish that Instagram should be paying us back. That, yo, guys, when I look at my numbers, I'm like, if I was getting something here, I'll be rich.
Yeah.
But in 2025, it's actually very challenging. You really need to understand who you are in the industry, and you really need to know yourself fully. Because if you don't, you're going to fall in the what's trending now and who's doing this now, and you'll forget, why did I start Loud, for instance, with Yolanda? If someone else is coming up with this, I'm also jumping there, because if I don't jump in whatever that everyone is doing, no one is going to watch my thing.
Yeah.
So it's very important to actually understand and know yourself. I would say it's very challenging, money-wise as well.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people. Every day someone is trending. Someone is coming up. Every day a star. A child can just cough and the mom capture that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow they are famous. And every brand wants to work with them. And then what about me? So it's very challenging. And I feel like knowing yourself is the most important thing in this industry. Because if you don't, you're really going to lose yourself. Because you're going to be like, okay, this one is drinking milk with oil. And then tomorrow someone is cooking sugar, turning it into pap, whatever the case is. So if you want to follow whatever that everyone is doing, it's very easy to lose yourself. I mean, I would say it's very difficult and challenging, but just know yourself.
I love that you say that, because the whole point of our conversation today is the fact that sometimes I think as content creators, we're trapped by the trending, because as you say, every day there's something new in the industry. Every day there's a new trend that pops up. And it just feels like you can never keep up. It feels like you're constantly, because I guess we're selling relevance, trying to be relevant to our audiences and our engagement. And if you're not the guy who's doing the in thing, how do you then make sure that you're not forgotten tomorrow? Because Mac, I can bring 4 more tech, reviewers, tech influencers. How do you make sure that your content is above the rest without also doing everything that everyone is doing all the time?
I make it about me, not about the content. I make them kind of want to invest in me, not about what I'm doing. I can add, like I spoke to someone earlier on, I can add something to my setup. They're going to remember, oh, he unboxed that thing and it's just sitting there on my setup now and I'm using it. I remember when he unboxed that thing a couple weeks ago and he's using it now, and they more invested about me and my journey throughout this thing instead of that piece of that computer. They're not thinking about the computer itself. They're like, oh, we're with him in this thing. So if we make it more about the products, you're not gonna buy new products every single week.
Yeah.
So make it about you and you navigating this thing, because you're not gonna have money to buy every single time something to unbox, something to speak about. So let them invest in you, and then whatever you do is gonna be good enough for them.
Yolanda, you nodded a lot when Mac was talking about make it about you. What's your tip?
So I think he's very right, 100%, because there's always a new something. I mean, there's a lot of people that have vitiligo, but because of how I wear my vitiligo, people always remember me when they think of vitiligo. And also, I would make an example, Winnie Harlow, for example. I mean, if I say Winnie Harlow, you already know who Winnie Harlow is. And not necessarily because she has vitiligo, it's how she carried herself with it. So we don't really see vitiligo, but we see this person with confidence and walking in her grace, like understanding who she is, you understand? So making everything about yourself, it's very, it's key, because they will never forget you.
Yeah.
They can always forget what you were wearing, but they won't forget Yolanda person.
In the world of influencer marketing, we call it hype personalization, right? About, people always said, be authentic. And we said, no, but you have to be hyper personal, because it's one thing to be authentic, but it's another thing to be like Yolanda-esque and Mac-esque, where even when we've got 10 content creators were doing beauty or skincare, in the vitiligo industry. We are, but Yolanda's the one. I mean, I resonate more with her because it's more hyper personal. So then how do you then keep yourself relevant to brands, right? Because if we look at how content creation has sort of evolved, it's become about engaging the community, because community, it means numbers, and engage community with numbers means brands want to work with you. So how do you make sure that you still keep it about yourself and still are attractive to brands? You're not so personalized that, another brand can't work with you because you're only good, or say vitiligo skincare, or just editing software, as an example, in the tech community.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a keep a balance. You have to know where the line is. I think this is me just spitballing, but I think there's a line you have to keep.
Yeah.
Don't make it's conceited. It's not conceited the word I'm looking for, but you make it about yourself, but not so much that you cast away everything else that is helping you with this journey. You're also interested in that thing, but you as well. So I think it's a fine balance between the products and you, and maybe the brands that see it, give them value.
Yeah.
When they see it, they're like, this guy could promote my thing nicely because I can see the way he's doing these things, the way he's unboxing these things, the way he's speaking about them. He has a lot of passion. Maybe that could help. So they email me and then they're like, okay, we want to work with you because they saw the videos.
Yeah.
So I do work on a basis of, it is about me and I have these products, right? But I don't give myself so much glory that the products are seen as second class citizens in my world. We are the same. But yeah, we are equal, but it's just a little guest feature.
Guest feature.
Guest feature.
Which might be harder for you, Yolanda, because as you say, Big Brother was a massive platform. You're a household name, virtually. And people, when they see you, the brand becomes very secondary because you are such a iconic big character. How do you then, especially when you're working with brands, in your niche, how do you make sure that you give them enough airtime so that it's not just about you? It's so weird that your content can't be so much about you.
Like, that's a very tricky one, hey? Because I also don't know how I do it. I'm just there and I promote the product and people buy. I feel like most importantly, brand wants to sell their product. So if they're giving me whatever that they want me to sell and people buy, word of mouth is also key. They will tell whoever will tell whoever, and then it goes on like that. You know what? If we work with this lady, our thing gets sold out.
Yes.
Which is another beautiful thing about Big Brother fan base. They support. So when you're from Big Brother, whatever you are selling, regardless if it's whatever, they will support you and they will buy. And that's what a brand wants. They want to give you their product so that you sell it. Yes, it can be about Yolanda, the product as well, but do we sell now after? I can't just give you 10 things and then I only get one person bought one thing. So besides engagement and people liking the product, do they still go and buy? So the audience I have do support in terms of going to buy the product as well.
So would you then suggest that for me to be able to build an engaged community, I need to align with some of platforms and brands that themselves have a sort of evangelical following, right? Like, as you say, if you had gone in and did a different kind of reality show, that doesn't have as much, followers who are as loyal, say maybe like a singing competition or a cooking competition, that following, would have been different.
But also, I hear what you say. I think it's also up to you, the content creator, to know your audience and to also kind of like educate them or tell them what you are doing, what they need to do after. Don't just stand there in front of a product, post it, and then leave it like that. Yes, my audience would go and buy because they already know if they are buying, we're going to get more brands working with us. But also, you need to also engage you. If your audience are not those type of audience, you need to engage them to say that, guys, we are selling this mic now. If 10 people go by, maybe we're going to do this, or maybe I'm going to come and do this, or whatever the case is. Because one thing about the people that are supporting you, they also want to see you. Yeah. Maybe you can go present yourself wherever they are and be in their area and sell that thing physically. Because mostly brands want to sell whatever that they're giving you to do. They just don't want you to post and then we like, and that's it.
And then there's
why?
no.
They also want to see sales. So if they see their things moving,
Love it, love it, love it. Before we go to break, what do you think is holding content creators back in South Africa right now?
holding them back.
Yeah, like what is really that thing that we can't seem to get over in the industry?
So I think it's maybe wanting to be famous. I feel like a lot of them, they just want to be famous. You know, they just want people, I'm famous, I'm a celebrity, I'm this. And I don't think it's all about that when you're a content creator. I think that might be the issue because now you want to move like a celebrity and behave like now you want people to treat you a certain way and you're forgetting that you are just a content creator. There's a difference between Winnie Harlow and Naomi Campbell
Yes.
and someone who's just a content creator. There's a content creator, there's a celebrity. I don't know if I'm making sense, but a lot of people just want to be famous. The fact that they got invited to a certain situation, they feel like now they are bonans, you know? And you need to know your stand and you know where you are. You are a content creator. Stick on that. You'll make a lot of money if you focus. There's that girl, Grace Mondlane.
Yeah.
Is it Grace Mondlane?
Yes.
That girl knows what she's doing. She's a content creator. And that's what she's doing. And she's killing it. So you need to focus on what you are doing.
And stay in your lane.
Exactly.
Your lane managing back.
Can I, if I could just add one thing I've noticed, the closest thing to a celebrity is an influencer.
Okay.
From what I've noticed, as an influencer, I'm not even big like that, right? But a mall, I can't walk into a mall without. My parents now would walk maybe a couple of steps in front, and me I walk with my sisters in the back because if people ask for pictures, my parents don't want to be in that that thing, and I'm like, I took my take. What pictures? I'm not like a singer or dancer or whatever. I took my take. You want a picture with me because I'm not saying that to them, but I'm like, okay, sure. And that's the closest thing I've felt to being a celebrity. That's the closest thing because now people in South Africa, they have a mindset of if you're a celebrity, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction. They'll see a celebrity in Sandton and they'll just walk past. But in their mind, they're like,
Yeah.
what? But they don't want to give them the person the.
And I don't know. You make a valid point because I think the big thing about us as content creators and this economy is that because our content, our audience sees us, you know, every day, and they choose to dial into your content every day. And as a result, when people see you and they follow you, it is a celebrity moment, and especially because you can sort of co-sign.
Yeah.
And then actually, I know 1, 2, 3, and 4 about your life because you're always offering it out for me, and then they see it. And I think
Can I just say one little thing? One thing about celebrity and situation, I feel like the real reason why most brands move to influencers instead of celebrity is because it's relatable with an influencer, the content creator. So that's why I'm saying you need to know your place. If you walk as a celebrity and I see you now, I'm going to be like, oh, wait, that's not. If she's wearing that dress, it's probably very expensive, you understand? But if it's a content creator, I know that, hey, if Yolanda bought bags, I know I also can afford it. It's not really like there. But look at a big superstar driving a certain car. I won't really think of buying it because I'm going to be like, it's not really in my level. But if I see Grace Mondlane, for example, she's driving this car, even if it's a big car, I'm going to think I can afford it because I know Grace, she's a content creator. You understand?
I can make it there.
Yes, but if you move like a celebrity, then we don't really relate with you anymore. Then you don't sell the products. Then brands don't work with you.
And I think you make a very, very point because I think because you have a cell phone, I have a cell phone, you know, we can create content. We're also thinking that unlike being a celebrity where I need to be like a Sharon, for instance, be, you know, in a mall and there has to be a director or I have to be on a show where, you know, like for instance, I always say radios are hilarious because every radio station only has like 10 DJs. They can only have 10 DJs because of the time, the day. There's not enough shows for everyone. And so, as you say, when you're a content creator, it's very different because you're closer to the people. They know that's tech. I can also, if I create content as well as Yolanda, if I review things as well as Mac, then I can also get to the point where I'm able to get these brands and myself can be close to them. So it is about relatability. Hot Conversations on the Hot Couch is still with us of influence with us at Style ID Africa. Don't go any more to come. Welcome back to the Business of Influence podcast, brought to you by Style ID Africa. Still joined in studio with Yolanda and Mack, the content creators who are delving into the issue of being trapped by the content that we're creating in 2025. The conversation's been hot, so if you've missed out, you need to go back to the episode, rewind again, and listen to what we've been talking about, because you've been dropping some good gems here, guys. Look at you. Beauty and brains. So I'll talk about the niches more specifically, right? So Yolanda, you do a lot of lifestyle and beauty content, and it's very interesting to me because in the world where I'm a filter, I'm a filter, I'm a AI, yay. How are you finding being a creator in that space? You know, what are some of the pitfalls you're finding being a content creator dealing in beauty, in lifestyle and fashion, especially when there's so many apps available? I mean, all the platforms in a filter of sorts, you know, to give you a made up look.
Yo, I think I love it because it's something that I love doing. I mean, before I went into Big Brother, I was already a model. I was just not, I didn't have the numbers I have, but I was already doing modeling. I love fashion. I love clothes. I love makeup. I was working in retail for almost 10 years in cosmetics, doing makeup and fragrances. So what I'm doing is what I love doing, or what I've always done my whole life. So I'm actually happy there, and I don't really get tempted to, you know, try and whatever the case is. I'm just there in my life, living whatever that I'm doing in terms of beauty. And also, I'm a different person from your normal looking being with one color. I have two colors. That is actually something that I'm enjoying now. When my vitiligo started, when I dive into that a little bit, I was not really comfortable with it. I actually would put makeup and cover it up. It started on my back. I didn't have it on my face. It just came on my face late. So it started 2013. So when that happened, when I started to gain confidence more and embrace it, and, you know, like now, I was like, you know what, this is actually beautiful. Yes. Art. So me always posting pictures that look different when I have hair, when I have short hair, and I have two colors.
There's one with the red week.
Yeah, there isn't one.
You have Ila. For me, it's interesting because you really taken something that, and we're chatting about this off air early on, about how you've taken the thing that people would say, hey, you don't fit into the beauty industry, and you've literally made that the thing that makes you a trailblazer in the beauty industry. And I think that's where that differentiating comes in, because as you say, we're all different, and you just use your difference to work out. How do you deal with the fact that you are a leader, or, you know, first mover advantage is always good and bad sometimes. If you get the latest phone, we go, ooh, that's so nice. But if you do something different, like do beauty for someone who is not the, you know, classic beauty type, they go, where's Ango, man? You know, how do you make sure that you the naysayers, you're able to continue even when the industry at the time, because it wasn't always so inclusive. I mean, there were times when if you weren't skinny, if you weren't long, weave, long, you know, legs, one particular toe, then you weren't getting work.
So with me, I got to realize or understand that really beauty is inside you. If you believe that you are beautiful and understand it yourself, people start seeing it outside. When I started with my short hair, I knew that there were wigs. I mean, I started my short hair 2019 when wigs were like a thing. Everyone was buying a wig, the three, whatever. I was on short hair. And not because I didn't like wigs or didn't want wigs or whatever the case is, but I wanted people to see that it's really not about me wearing a 12-inch or a 1 whatever inch or 14, whatever the case. I don't even know what they call them, drone or double drone, something like that. Those things. But I wanted people to know and see that, you know what, you are beautiful as you are. When you add, you just enhance it. So the beauty is inside you. So if you know that and you understand that no one is going to say anything to you, they can call you a cow, like they called me a cow one day. It's just gonna bounce off because you already know the beautiful cow you are. Yes, I don't know. You embrace that. Yes, and you embrace that. So I think it really starts with you. It really starts with each and every person. There's a lot of competition and a lot of things coming each and every. Back in our days, 2019, we didn't have double drones of wigs, double drones or whatever drone. 2023 or 2020, there were double drones or something, or maybe I just didn't know about it. But things change each and every single time. I love Chanel because she stayed herself week in, week out, every different season. She was selling the same thing.
Yeah.
Fashion will come in and out, but you will still go buy your tweed jacket from Chanel. Even today, if you wear that tweed jacket from Chanel, it will still land because she understands.
But now I'm interested in that because so Chanel is able to be legacy and they create a niche for themselves. You are what we would call not the classic beauty influencer, because as you say, you've got different skin tones and your needs are different from the archetype of the beauty content creator. The brands then, how do they misunderstand your beauty industry? And I mean, I'm emphasizing the your, because you are, as you say, different from the norm. Or what are the mistakes the brands are making when they come to you and say, listen, let's do this product, because you're not the archetype.
I feel like they want to. Okay. Recently, I haven't really had something like that, but there was one time that I had a problem-ish with some people because I feel like, so with me, I have two skins. So my skin is automatically sensitive. There's just so many things happening with my skin because it's not like a one color normal. It's like there's so many things that I fight every day with the skin. If you want me to use your product, for example, to sell to the people, just know that the moment you tell people about your product, whether a person has a sensitive skin, oily skin, whatever skin, will probably definitely feel comfortable.
Okay.
You understand? But they want to kind of like box me with everyone.
I hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they'll want to like make me like, because in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm not really bringing beauty. I'm bringing inclusivity. I don't know if that's a right English.
Absolutely, yes.
Meaning each and every person who's watching me use your product will definitely be very comfortable. Whether they have acne, whether they have whatever skin, they will feel like, okay, if she can use this,
I can use it.
it definitely means that I can also use it.
Yeah.
So my problem was to be kind of like boxed with everyone to say that, because you need to acknowledge I have vitiligo. It's there. It's not something that I went and bought and make it. It's just there. And it's a very challenging skin to have. So you cannot want me to do what everyone is doing with your products and then post. We need to understand that this is not, it's the same as giving someone with albinism a product to promote. And you don't really understand that albinism, this person needs to have like 3 times sunscreen than what you use it.
And then that's the nail on the head I'm getting from this conversation, that you can't give me something just because my content is selling, people buy because of me, and not have researched who I am.
Exactly.
Because as much as I can do a particular makeup brand or whatever, if that makeup brand is not suited for
my skin,
then we're not gonna have, because as I start promoting it, and it talks to ethical promotion, right? To tell people about a product that you have used, you have tried, and you know that if someone who has vitiligo, who has albinism, who has sensitive skin, who has hormonal acne, etc., is able to go, no, if Yolanda says it means she's tried it, and because she has sensitive skin, then I'll also like that.
Because I don't want to wake up one day, someone say, oh, Yolanda was promoting this and they also have vitiligo. And maybe when they use it, then something happens. And I'm like, okay, well, I got paid. Thank you. Yeah, so that's the issue that I want. Yeah.
I love that, the ethics of the promotion. Tech is different.
No.
No?
As I'm listening to you guys, I'm like, it's yeah.
You know?
Yes, because obviously not the same things, but for example, when they send me a laptop and it's not the most powerful laptop and I'm using it and then they paying me to promote this thing. But the thing is, after the whole campaign, I'm still using it till this day.
Yeah.
Some people think that, no, man, this thing is trash and you're just promoting it for money. Yes, I got the money, but I'm still using the laptop.
Yeah.
The other one I gave to my mom because it's getting too much. Like, I can't have 5 laptops in my room and my sisters are using some old things. So I just give them to my sisters and my mom and they use them. And so I'm using one of these laptops that is under 8,000. That's how I promote. I'm like, I'm looking for a laptop that's like almost 7,000. I use it the same thing. I'm not using some expensive things. Obviously, to edit, I'm using my own thing on the side.
And it's a different need.
Yes. So when I'm using the laptop, regular things, Microsoft Word, all these normal things, I just use the same laptop, and I show people when I'm packing up for a weekend, I use that laptop that I was promoting. It's so it's a lot of people might not agree to it, but I think it's not because I'm getting paid that I'm saying this. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like with the same with the skincare thing. I'm not doing this because I'm getting paid. I'm gonna promote this because I know I'm promoting it for other people to see me, other people who are like me, see this, and then they're gonna be like, okay, she can use it, I can use it.
And again, it's the fact that even in content creation, even in the tech space, you need to be ethical in what you're saying.
Yeah.
Also has to fit into what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you're using a laptop, for instance, for your editing work, and it's a laptop that wouldn't
Normally fit the standard.
bar, then what's the point of having it? Quickly before we cut to break quickly, do you feel sometimes that brands are performative in how they come and support your niches, right? What I mean by that is, a brand, as you say, Yolanda, will come and say, oh, we're very sensitive, we're very inclusive, where they're not. I'll give you an example in the makeup space, for instance, where a brand will say, oh yeah, all shades, all skin tones, and then the darkest one is tapa. And the lightest one is like, oh, okay, so do you sometimes think that brands are performative in your niche?
Whew. I think obviously there's going to be some, but most brands are. I would give an example. I don't know if I can mention brands.
Hey, we don't want to get sued.
Okay, wow. I use these 2 brands and they're very, So I would say 80% of the time, they are.
Performative.
Yes.
And are they really investing in the niche, like in tech? Are they really investing in his shit?
Maybe in tech, but I feel like sometimes also we also need to think for the brands as well. There's a lot of influencers. There's a lot of content creators. They cannot have everyone, So I think they try because now most brands have moved to content creators and influencers.
Yeah.
And that is actually helping the youth in South Africa. I mean, with jobs as well, because there's a struggle, I guess. But I feel like they are trying. And also, it's also up to us. Remember, like I said, when people are moving like celebrities, when they get to a place where they are working with some brand, maybe the brand manager is there, a person is there acting like a diva. Tomorrow they're not gonna call you. It's also up to you, the person. So people just go there and they wanna perform things and whatever the case is. But I feel like brands are trying, and there's a lot of people. Maybe on my case, I feel like they are. In my case, maybe I would say 80-20, 80% of the time. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think there are sometimes formative, right? You seem to be holding on to your words.
Since we can't use names, there was this one brand that I'm a frequent collaborator of, right?
Yeah.
They had an event, and us in the tech content creation in South Africa, we're very niche. It's a very small thing. So there's like most of us who do the tech, we all know each other, and we have a group and we talk. And I've noticed that these brands sometimes they will promote a phone, and they will invite the big influencers and stuff, and maybe 2 tech content creators, 2 people who know about this phone, like who know the ins and outs and how to use it and everything like that. Like perfect, we know this thing. We know what the chip is, what the chip is used for, all that stuff. 2 of us will be invited to this thing, and then the rest, it's lifestyle, right? Which is fair because everyone is meant to buy this phone. So it's not just for us tech creators. Lifestyle, understandable. And then you'll get, I don't want to use this term, but this is what our friends I'm quoting. They were like, there was just baddies, bro. For what? Just baddies. And then there was like, okay, the ratio, 5% tech, maybe 30% lifestyle, and then the rest was just, the way he explained it was like just pretty people to fill up the room.
And to look beautiful in the pictures.
To look beautiful in the pictures and stuff like that. But they were also given the phones. And I'm thinking to myself, I know so many people who have nice engagement, the same engagement as them, but were more into the tech. So they could have pushed the phone out more because these followers that they have love tech.
Yeah.
So they'll have Android as well, they would have done things nicely. They would have explained why this phone is nice instead of, the person that they gave the phone to. I saw one of the videos, and I did a video breakdown, reviewing the phone. Not even technical, the regular they use, and then the technical, and just a sprinkle of the technical, right? That person was like, "Oh, the camera's so beautiful." And then they were like, "Oh, the screen is nice." And I was like,
I like the color.
I was like, yeah, well, it's true.
But also, let me kind of like defend them.
Okay.
But also, remember, they cannot just have all 5 tech. Remember, you're not the only ones using the phone.
Yes.
Me, who's gonna look at the screen and think the camera is good and the screen is yellow, I also buy the phone. I also buy the phone. I don't understand. I feel like them bringing 2.
The ratio. I was like, the ratio. Like the 5, like 2. And the thing is, I would have understand if maybe they said 30, 30, 40 for the lifestyle. The lifestyle makes more sense. Like about Grace. Grace could sell. Grace could sell more than me. This is what I'm saying. I know that lifestyle is up there. Abo Tato Rambedi, Grace, Montana, they could sell these things. But
I'm finding it where one of the niches that I'm dabbling into is automotive, right? So cars. And a lot of the time when a new car is being launched, or they're doing an update or doing something around the vehicle and experience around the vehicle, they'll have us who are the lifestyle content creators, and they'll have the motoring journalists, the guys who will tell you like the kilowatts of the car and the Newton meters of the torque and those things. And what I always found was that the technical people, the guys who are talking about the car from a technical point of view, are there to suit other technical people, right? So what I'm saying is that if brand car A is having the car journals, is so that car brand B, C, D, E, F, they can say, oh, okay, that guy's doing well, or that guy's not doing well. Whereas the lifestyle guys are there for us to say, okay, I hear you guys, I hear it's got wonderful whatever, but can it fit my suitcase? Bluetooth. And I think but to your point, I think what's interesting is that the use of content creators has to be wide ranging. It has to be that you bring enough of the tech guys to be able to give us a clear understanding of what we have in our hands. But I need Yolanda to tell me, Uti, it fits into my purse. It looks good.
it's nice. It's nice looking.
The battery lasts long, because you find that I need both of you as someone who's looking to buy it. I need both of you to be able to give me such ideas. So again,
the point you're making is very specific because I just started car content recently, and I think I'm about 3 videos in. I'm just reviewing cars. So like, since I don't have the connection into the industry, what I do is I'll just go to my aunt who just bought a new car and be like, can I review it? She's like, yeah, here's the keys. And then I'll just drive around the neighborhood and then ask my little sisters to like take the videos and stuff like that. And then what I do is I sprinkle in what you're saying, the technical part, but then I add lifestyle onto it as well. Like for a recent video that I just did, I was literally inside the boot and said, guys, look, I fit in the, imagine how much I could fit in there. And then when I did an Isuzu review, I said, do you know when you go to Eastern Cape, MRK, do you know how much suitcases you can fit in here and alcohol? You know how they bring alcohol back home? Suitcases and alcohol here. Do you know how much can fit in there? Look how much space is this. So and then obviously I do the kilowatts. And so I sprinkle the technical and then I show how useful it is. When I showed the BMW a couple days ago, they have 2 Type-C ports at the back. So I'm like, you see the kids can charge nicely here at the back, and then the adults have their own charging thing nicely. There's nice ambiance and all that stuff. So I sprinkle both sides of it. That's what I do in tech as well. I have a series called If You Didn't Know, Now You Know. So explaining things like, for example, camera sensors are big and phone sensors are small. So if I say my phone has a 200 megapixel sensor and that camera has a 24 megapixel sensor, that one is still better. Because even though the Samsung has 200, it's not the same type of megapixel. It's that one obviously is huge, so it can capture more light. It's always better. So I want to give people who aren't into tech. So when you go get that laptop, they're not gonna see, oh, it's a nice, pretty MacBook. You're gonna know how much How much SSDs in there? 512. Okay.
Which is part of the
How much RAM was in there?
you, right? That we have to give you some sort of an education.
Yeah.
Pass it through. Wow, so much more to talk about. So when we come back, we chat about sort of the mental side of this whole content creation business. When we come back. Back with the Business of Influence podcast with me, Leroy Marc, brought to you by Style ID Africa. Still in studio with Yolanda and Mack. And now we're chatting about the mental side of this business of influence. So guys, content creation, as you're saying, the closest thing to celebrity. Do you always feel the pressure to look a certain way when you are outside of the world as you do when you're online?
You're supposed to, apparently, because they say, oh, you must make sure when you get out because you don't know who's going to take a picture. But in my situation, Shem, me, I do not.
You okay?
Me, I walk when I'm comfortable. And if I come to situations like this, I'm going to present myself accordingly. You know? But if I'm going to go buy bread, I'm going to go buy bread.
But do you feel that you need to look a certain way then when you are online? So when you're doing your lives and when you're doing, the podcast, you'd have to get dressed up, but do you feel like you have to sort of arrive to the occasion?
Not really. I don't know if you've watched my lives. Like literally, I literally sit right there and just go live. Because I want to be a normal person at the end of the day. I remember with Michael Jackson, like there was something that he said. He was like, his childhood was kind of like taken away from him.
Yeah.
Because he's been a star from a young age and you really do lose yourself because there's no Yolanda anymore. There's people watching Yolanda. You also need to have yourself and you before people. If you don't have those moments with yourself, no one else is going to give them to you. So I'm just me, myself, and I. When I go live, if I want to go live and I didn't have Lash that time, I am going to go live. I mean, you're not going to shoot me. I will.
That's on me.
No.
Mac, yours is a bit different because, being a tech guy, the immediate assumption is not a big fashion person. You're more worried about the content. But let's talk about this idea of mental health in content creation, right? So we're chatting earlier on about how you've got the Meta glasses. Nice. Classy. Don't know if you're reporting me. Don't go sporadic. Might be recording you. But the fact that you have to constantly be, reviewing new tech, that is a financial strain, right? So as much as Yolanda says, I'm not getting dressed up every day to be seen up and give them the me, you also aren't a billionaire, not yet at least. So, you also are constrained. That should be quite difficult for someone whose work is to be a tech guy who's reviewing content constantly.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about what am I buying next,
Yeah.
to be honest. And it's not because of the tech, because it's because I love the technology and it makes my life convenient. And doing all of this, it's just there's things that I can't do these days. For example, if I buy something, I know that I have to set up the camera to unbox it. I have to literally set up the camera facing down and unbox it. And then once it's done, I swear, as soon as I turn off the camera, I'm just looking at this thing.
But how does that affect you though? Because it means that you can never just get on with the business of like buying a new speaker or a new whatever.
Yeah, I can't just buy it and quickly just use. I have to, because that's another piece of content. Because sometimes there's content block, and I'm like, I don't know what to speak about. But if I have that footage just sitting there, whenever I'm going to post it, doesn't matter. As long as I have the footage of it, I'll do it then. But me not having an infinite, even though people say on my TikTok, they see me buying things every week, but they don't know that this thing was saved up for the past 4 months.
You just exposed yourself.
They just, no, it's not a secret. I've been saving up, then buy this thing, save up, buy this thing. But by some coincidence, since I get money that it makes the saving quicker. So now I've been saving 10,000 for this one thing. And then I get paid by a campaign that I was doing. No, let me just take a 5K, buy that thing quickly.
And move on.
I just move on from it. So I know that I have it. Like I'm saving up for a new camera that I'm trying to get. People are just going to see me. After last week, I unboxed the Apple Mac Mini thing. Now this week it's a camera. But I'm like, do you know how long it took me to get to the 27,000 for the camera?
And I want to chat about the money for a bit because I think the monetization is very important. And we're gonna come there because your stuff is expensive. You are spending lots of money. But let's go there, right? Before we get to the money part of it, Do you think because of how you guys have progressed and growing in your niches and in your industries and the platforms you've occupied, has your audience's expectations of you changed? So like, do they look at you and they go, he has a iPhone 1 or he has a Apple Watch 1 or whatever it is? Do you feel like there's been a shift in what your audience requires from you?
I think with me also, yes, people know I went to Big Brother and I didn't win that 2 million, but they still send me DMs. Oh, Yolanda, I registered in school. They need 8,500. In my head, I'm like, in heaven or earth, do you think I have this money to give you? I am building my mom a house. She didn't have a house, but people associate camera, phone, social media with money.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people fall in depression because they want to keep up with that standard. That you already know you don't have money, but you want to post, drive a Mercedes, it's like that Mercedes is yours. And then now people think like that. But the audience, when they look at you, how I'm dressed right now, they probably definitely think, Kuti, I'm out there outside, or Porsche is waiting for me and I'm staying wherever. I don't know, but it's just, it changes. Even if I constantly tell them most of the time, but even if you do constantly, they still think because she's in the public eye, she has millions.
And I think it's also because we don't talk about the one thing being money, right? And that's where I want to go now, where I want us to be very frank about the fact that you can make a lot of money, but you also need a lot of money to be able to make a lot of money.
Exactly.
Can I? I'm so sorry. Can I please just add on to what she said before we move now? That happens all the time, in the sense of like, since what I've told you, like I buy all these things, but I save up for them.
Yeah.
They don't see the saving side of it, so they see it as we just splurging and just buying expensive things. So in the emails, because the email is for campaigns, it's for brands to reach me. They use the email, Mac, I need to pay for this thing. I'm a struggling student. I come from Eastern Cape. And the thing is, no matter what I say, they're not gonna believe that you just bought a 27,000 rand, whatever.
30K. That's not
30, and I'm like, I don't have it.
Yeah.
If I did, I promise you, would have went to my parents, because my mom wants to build a gate in Eastern Cape there, because we are old. We need to. There's things that I would rather be doing if I had that money. My sister needs a new phone.
Yeah.
And if our parents can't, it's fine. I'll step in. I'll wait. I'm glad to step in. I'll do that when I have extra money. But the thing is, I can't. And there's so many people. And
I think it's also because, again, we don't talk about how much money we make. Right? Because if people understood what it takes for you to go to an event, for instance, Yolanda, if I'm inviting you to an event, yes, you might have the wig already bought. You have to go install the wig. You have to go and get your face beat. You have to get the lash.
I must get a dress. I must come with a photographer.
You also can't arrive there in a bicycle.
Thank you.
And those things are huge things. So maybe let's chat about that for the followers and the reach that content creators have. And I use the word content creators to include influencers, key opinion leaders, etc. Are we being paid enough for what we do?
No, definitely we're not. And I'm gonna say it like this because, first of all, like brand or campaign or an agency, for example, they would say, Yolanda, you can use your phone to shoot this reel. We don't really need specific whatever camera, whatever. But they're forgetting the people that are watching want clean content.
Absolutely.
I can wake up and just, and I saw a huge difference. There's a reel that I did and I was like, this one, they threw me under the bus now because what is this? Other people would come with fancy good. You want clean work all the time.
And they don't also realize that costs money.
Yes, if I have to have clean work, I need to have a videographer who's gonna come to my place and shoot me the unboxing. You understand? Yes, there are people who can do it. Not all of us are gifted the same. Someone will be like, no, I can use my phone and it still looks clean.
Yeah.
I'm not like you.
But even the one who's using the phone, Yolanda, you're not gonna take your tweet, and
You still need a good phone.
to do their phone, and those things, as Mac will tell us, costs a couple of.
My point is, I feel like we're not getting paid enough. And I feel like because it's a lot of us now, it's a lot of influencers and content creators now, it makes it easy now for brands not to pay.
Well, someone else
is gonna take the 8,000 you're refusing. Someone else is gonna take the 30 you're refusing.
Yeah.
You understand? Because if they say, Yolanda, we wanna invite you to this event and our budget is this much, ne? Maybe it's 20,000. I'm thinking hiring a dress is 10,000.
I already in the negative.
You know?
Yeah.
And then now my photographer, it's 7.5. It is gonna go with me. You know? And then he's only gonna take a video. If I want pictures, I have to top up that amount. Someone else is gonna be like, oh no, it's fine, 20,000 is okay, I'm coming. And then they take their phone, they go, they post whatever, and then that's it. But with me, I'm looking at the type of content that I'm posting. I cannot now want to wake up tomorrow and posting anything. I had to archive something I posted the other day.
Yeah.
What is this now?
And
Somewhere not, because they don't look at those little things that we have to pay for. Because if I have to now spend money for a campaign that is supposed to give me money, then what? Because this is like a 9 to 5. And it's we have to get paid.
I'll give you a very short example where I've got a brand who I worked with, and they include in my fee production, and it was good. But you can't come and expect to have the same level as those guys, because they know they must pay me 5 rand extra because I need to pay 4 rand to the photographer, 1 rand to the editor. You know what I mean? So again, it's about, not people knowing the kind of money that we make, because actually we don't make millions. Yes, it might invoice 100,000 rand, but when you say I've had to pay 1,000 rand for this guy, 20,000 rand for this, to hire this venue is 14,000. By the time I actually take it home after paying my taxes, 150. Yeah,
Exactly.
And for you, Mac, when you look at the tech, because you guys are a few guys, man, there's very niche environments. You guys know exactly what the other guy might be getting paid, more or less. You know? Do you think that we, as content creators, especially in the tech space, you guys are at least getting an industry standard about what you charge for things?
It's to answer the first question, not paid enough, yes, because most of the time when we are being sent these products, you'll get a laptop that costs 40K. If I sell 5 of those laptops, I'm not getting anywhere close to
The 200,000 rand.
the 200K that was generated through my video, and I'm getting under 20, for example, for that video that I made. But the video, they don't see what the video is going to do. They know that engagement might lead to sales, and those sales will make 200K in a week if 5 people buy, for example. But they don't think about that. They think, how much must we pay? We give them a price. Can you bring it down? When you start negotiating the bare minimum, that's when I'm like, Chief, this is no, it's fine.
Yeah, where's the go?
No, someone, until they'll come back maybe an hour or two later. They're like, okay, I spoke to my boss. No, you didn't. You know what the budget is.
Well, it's what Yolanda's saying. Because there's someone out there who was willing to take the 10,000.
Yeah.
I got one the other day that was asking me to virtually do it free. Because they're like, yeah, Siaza, man. I said to them, come on, guys, honestly. And it's not fair to my other clients who I'm charging them 10 rand and you want me to do this 4 rand. It's not.
Yeah. Also, it is different from her side and mine in a sense of having a photographer and a videographer with you. I need all that.
Yeah.
Need these glasses. I need my phone. Need these glasses. Need my phone. Maybe a friend as a +1. Just hey, Doc, Chief.
But you also have your imperatives, right? You have the thing that you need for you to make a nice video.
Yes. Like,
I mean, these glasses are not cheap.
Exactly.
Yes. You need all. I'm just saying it's not the same exactly, but we have our own things, because obviously you have to pay for the guy's Uber, the software that I'm editing on. Exactly. You have to pay a monthly subscription. So, I have a phone. I have these things. I have a gimbal. I have all of these things that I have to pay for. So it's not free, but it's not as much as you, because now you have to pay a whole human being. Yeah. Maybe the thing is
more than one.
And the thing is,
makeup, hair, dress,
3 people already.
Humans.
Transport.
You need probably 7, 8 people to just achieve this one thing.
One paycheck.
Just one thing.
And also, when I get there, they want a beautiful looking Yolanda. They don't just want the one who woke up,
Yeah.
ukari, whatever. No wonder they want you to be presentable. So for me, it's my everything. It's money. They must just pay us.
Before we fight the brands who are not paying us here up, let's chat quickly around what kind of, and this is 2 questions, what kind of income streams are you building outside of this? Because it's the money's sporadic, right? You can make a big paycheck today and not have another gig for 3 months. What are you doing to build those other paychecks? And when you answer that, also tell me what are the big like deal breakers with the partnerships, right? That you're taking on. Like when you sit down and you go, my sister, I can't do that. My brother, I can't.
For the brands.
For the brand partnerships. So when you get the laptop in the mail, what will make you go, this is just, I can't do this. Please take it back.
What happened?
Yolanda?
Okay, so the first question was?
The first question is, what other income streams are you building outside of?
So with me, my dad raised me. My dad was a mechanic and he never believed in a 9 to 5. Yeah. And he made sure that with whatever that he was doing, he always had like 5 different income streams.
Yeah.
So that's what I actually did for myself, actually, especially when I came out of Big Brother. I realized that, yes, there's going to be a hype now. And that's what a lot of people forget. Oh, they forget. The hype is going to...
It lasts.
Yes. And people focus on the hype and they're thinking they're going to work with the whole world after that. Nope. I knew for a fact that someday it's going to, and then there'll be other people that will be coming for whatever. So I decided to do my podcast, which is Loud Wednesdays with Yolanda. Okay. You can find that on YouTube and also on Spotify.
Yes.
Spotify, it's our sponsor. Bye-bye. Anyway, yes, I did that because I knew that when I get that right, it's really going to give me like a sustainable income.
Exactly.
With brands coming, if they want to collaborate or sponsor or whatever the case is, that is actually going to, besides me as Yolanda posting on Instagram or whatever the case is. Yes. And then 2, I'm doing music.
Yes. Hey! Wait, that exclusive. It's the first time you're announcing it.
Yes.
But no. Exclusivity. But mina all right, we're down to this music.
Yeah, so I'm actually doing like music.
Oh, wow.
I actually wanted to do DJing first, but I was like, guys, I have a flow.
Skilled, and
I can sing. So I was like, why not? So I want to do music. And the reason why I actually decided to go for music is because when I met Rick Ross, you guys know
Rick Ross?
Yeah. When I met Rick Ross and I had a meeting with him in Cape Town, he actually did say that. He was like, know what? I see this person and I think you need to follow the music. You are going to make records. You will make very good songs. And I was like,
hi, bro.
I mean, we try and we see. So
are you seeing this now? Pula Rick Ross was throwing the bones and pillaring. Oh, Sangoma Royal.
From them, being not the one. Anyway, kidding. But what I'm trying to say is that's what I'm doing, and that's also going to generate income
for you.
Yes.
I love that.
And also content creation, and also I do MC.
Yeah.
And I also do appearances. I don't just wake up and do content creation only. Yeah. So it's very important also to do that because sometimes you can make it now and then 5 years down the line, someone else comes and they come up with something different and you cannot, Yes, you will stay, people will know you land, yes, but they will want to go with that other niche that is new. We never knew there was going to be piano. Pianos will take off. They're taking over.
What I get it from you is you need to have enough platforms where you are, again, real estate outside of what you're doing so that your content creation almost becomes a place where you showcase your other streams and make it work. I love that. Deal breakers with brands. What do you not want? 2 things you just go, if you do this to me, it's over me and you.
Deal breakers. I don't like that 45.
They pay me out. 45.
45 days.
Well, it's the money. So deep. You have something to say.
You know what? We spoke about this already.
I always negotiate those days. I don't want them.
Yeah, but it also is just, and this is a global thing. I think even when we talk about government, right? No one can run a business waiting for a month and a half for an invoice to be paid.
Like it's 45, and they would put it in the contract.
Yeah.
If you don't read your contracts, you would wake up and they say, no, it's there in your contract, my love.
But I think you make a good point, because I've negotiated and I've got a particular brand I'm working with, which is fantastic. And they literally, my invoice gets sent in on a particular day. I think 11 days later they make pay.
It shouldn't be more than 20, guys. We have bills to pay.
Yes, and the rent.
If I did a campaign on the 20th of the month, and then you want to pay me 45 days after, that's like when, exactly, when do I pay my bill from the first? How do I pay my bill first?
I did a campaign in Feb.
No, getting paid.
Wow. I keep checking my phone, notifications.
I feel like a lot of people take advantage of that because they know that most content creators want jobs.
Yeah.
And we don't want to step in anyone's foot. We want our money, but we want the money.
And we need to chat about that as a community, about how we hold brands to account. Because if you don't pay your landlord his rent, he locks the door. But you've got my content, it's gone live, you've gotten the ROI.
And I try.
Site.
Yolanda doesn't have a place to stay.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And you didn't pay me.
Yo, and we must let them know. We must name and shame themselves. Let's say. What is the real estate you're building outside to make money, and what is your deal break?
I'm a heavy creative. Okay. So I started businesses when I was in grade 8. I first sold lollipops, moved to t-shirts, moved to hoodies in winter. But then here, this side, I also cook. I started cooking.
Yeah.
I started cooking probably when I was 11.
Yeah.
Then when I went to 16, I asked my parents, can we make a deal? There's a school I want to study in, but then we'll do a rugby thing as well. So I'll cook and then do rugby, but it's in France. Oh. They're like, sharp. When you come back, you're going to go to university, ne? Yeah. I was like, yeah. And then, study something like engineering, IT, law, doctor, like something, how our parents see those things as I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. We went to France, did the cooking thing, came back, moved to Joburg in 2018, I from Cape Town. So here and there, I would start businesses. So people would hire me to cook for them for the weekend. Oh, okay. So I would be at for example, let's say they do a reality show. Yeah. Like for YouTube or something like that. I'll go there, I would sleep there with them in the same house and everything. But I wake up, breakfast, and then I would have free time in the house. Yeah. So at night while they're drinking and having fun and everything, I make muffins for the next morning. Yeah. Oh. And okay. So they just smell the muffins like Mac. I say no. It's for the morning. So I'll cook everything. I do photography and videography as well.
So you're gonna edit this video?
Oh, sure. The editing part of things, the videography is the easiest part. The editing and sitting there like this, just editing, cutting the music, that's another story.
No, but you can do it.
Yeah, I can. I do everything. It's annoying, but I find it very peaceful. And after it's done. Yeah. Once you see the whole thing, you're like, I did this. His video is beautiful and it looks beautiful, it sounds nice. You're like, it took me 3 hours, but I did it. It was me.
It was magic. Before we go to break, what is your deal breakers?
The commission thing.
Commission.
When they say, we'll send you the product, won't pay you, but you'll get a commission if
someone buys whatever. Yeah.
I don't work on a maybe situation, Chief.
Yeah.
We either do it or we don't do it.
This industry needs certainty, and I think what we're trying to do is build a policy around making sure that brands understand that content creators need certainty because the bills are very certain. Yeah. When you come back, wrap it up with Yolanda and Mack, and we'll chat to you about what you can do to make sure you get more of this content on your screens. Don't go. Welcome back to the Business of Influence podcast with me, Leroy Marc, and we're chatting about leveling up in 2025 with your favorite content creators, Yolanda and Mack. And ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up our conversation, I think what's very interesting to me about the conversation we just had is how we're all really starting to understand how this industry works for ourselves, right? But in your mind, when you see people who are getting into the industry and trying to figure this whole thing out, what is your advice to them? Now that you sit on this side, knowing what you know, like when you see those rising creators and you go, my brother, my sister, if only you know the following things and I knew, Yolanda?
I think I got lost in space.
You reply, I'll repeat. there are so many young people looking up to us, right? And they say content creation is the place to be. What would you say to them about this industry now that you know what you know?
Oh, yo, I'm gonna start with the comment sections.
Okay.
Because wow, yo, they can twist anything you do to suit whatever they want to believe about your life. So know yourself and understand who you are.
Yeah.
Whoever's gonna say whatever about you, it's not really gonna do anything. I was heartbroken. I saw this kid, man. Oh shit. She's a thick girl. And she did one video. And people were so negative. Like they were so negative. I actually forgot her name, but I saw her on TikTok. And I think she committed suicide afterwards. And she passed on. And right after she passed on, everyone was all about, oh, rest in peace, oh, rest in peace, oh, video, oh. Now they want a campaign or whatever the case is. So it's very important for a young person to know yourself. If you are thick, if you are skinny, if you are dark, if you are very light, and people are still insecure about being light-skinned, being skinny, being dark, being very thick or short, you know? So someone can say something and they feel like, oh, I can't leave this world. I can't be here. I must kill myself. So you need to know yourself. You need to understand yourself. And the fact that you are here on earth for a reason. We didn't just emerge from somewhere. We were placed here by God.
Yeah.
And for a very good reason. Some days, who knew me? I'll go and be frata. People are still shouting in today when I'm up.
Then there was a big
I never thought people would love me in life. And they do.
Yeah.
There are people that actually. So you need to know and understand yourself, because if you don't and you go in social media, it's very dangerous for kids.
Yeah.
And if they don't understand, they feel like whatever a person, because some people say negative things to trend.
Yeah.
They know that everyone is saying, Yolanda, you're beautiful. But if they come and say, you cow or whatever cow, everyone's going to now cycle on that negative comment and trying to fight you and whatever the case is. And it makes them relevant for that second.
Yeah.
So they will say something negative just to bring the crowd or the cloud on their comment. So you need to understand yourself and know who you are, because it's going to save you.
Yeah.
This can be very dangerous for kids. Very horrible. And a lot of them are killing themselves now.
Yeah.
And it's not nice. We can't wake up that's why people say, I think it was Miles Monroe who said that the graveyard is the richest place in the world, because every mind, beautiful gifts, whatever.
They all end up there in the grave.
They're just there. And we can't wake them and say, come sing for us.
Yeah.
Big stars, big artists, big actors, big book writers, big tech, big whoever. They are sleeping now. And we can't do anything. Once you're dead, you're gone. There's nothing we can do. So it's very important to understand yourself and to know who you are, because they will comment. You will not run away from that. They will say whatever you're thinking a normal person wouldn't say, they will come and say.
They forget the block button is very easily accessible. The block button is I don't play that button.
But still, it's not enough. How many are you going to block?
Yeah, the thing is, it's unlimited for me. No. The thing is, they have a sort of strength in knowing that you can't get to them. They have those accounts that say user 357, but
Yeah.
no pictures, no face, nothing. That's movie.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Oh, Mike, you see your teeth are crooked. You need braces. And I'm like, Chief,
But it's because
I know that.
ban yourself, right? So people want to be the person who is the bearer of bad news.
Yeah.
Why gossip sells is why the tabloid sells. So
It's crazy. Like, you just went through the social media and said, let me say this. This is the one. This is what I'm going to give negativity today. And then you're just going to carry on about your life. I try to think, why are you like this? Is it something
it's a dark place, and I think we need to give it the darkness must stay there and not pop. But your takeaway when we look at the youngs coming up, what would you say, sir?
I would say consistency. I'm not going to lie to you. I've seen it myself. Consistency helps. This year, I went through a little phase in the beginning of the year. I said to myself, let me try and post every day and see what happens. So in February, I got to 100K followers. I was like, okay.
That's good.
Let's see what happens now. I started posting maybe 2 to 3 times a day, every single day.
Yeah.
it's May now. I think I got like 36,000 followers between Feb
And May.
and May.
This is 90 days.
Just posting every day. Even though I'm lazy, I'll just post something for my drafts. Yeah, at least something is out. And on TikTok now, if you press more data at the bottom, you can see how many followers you got from a certain video.
Particular post, yeah.
From one video, you can see 500 people followed me because of this. Now you know what they want, what they follow you from, so you can replicate those. So just post every day.
Yeah. And I think for me, it goes to just knowing your business and trying very hard to learn your business, just as with any business, and putting in the safeguards and processes to make sure that your business makes bank and that you bank on your influence. And with that, guys, I'd like to thank you so much for your time. It's been a fantastic conversation. Yolanda, thank you so much for coming through. Mac, I'll be sending you my laptop just to review it.
Just a little, please.
We're in a software.
Yes,
So,
something, yeah.
and for you at home, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend about the Business of Influence podcast. And of course, make sure that your influence makes you bank. Until next time, I'm Leroy Marc, and it's bye-bye.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.